Lane Swap!
Hey everyone, it's J4 and welcome to Lane Swap, where we force music professionals to play our favorite video games. Today on the show we have Nicholas J. Rankin, music director, all-around master of the trumpet, and closeted conspiracy theory enthusiast. Nick, thank you for coming on the show.
Happy to be here.
Do you have any idea what you're going to be doing
I
today?
have none, except for what Ivory Slim back there says.
Well, we're going to be interviewing you, but your challenge is to attempt to play a video game at the same time. Would you like to know what game we selected for you today?
Yeah, hit me.
Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Do you know that game?
No.
Ian, the editor here. Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy is a game about a man who climbs a mountain with nothing but a sledgehammer. Only he's naked and stuck in a flower pot. And there's no save points. Have fun, Nick.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your gaming experience, like over there. Like, tell me about your games that you've played throughout your life, like the systems that you've played on.
I grew up with an N64, so Smash Bros was like always a thing. In high school, I got a PS3, just because that's what all my friends had, and so I ended up getting into the RPGs like Dragon Age and Mass Effect and all that sort of stuff.
As I have. Or if you left your wallet.
I'm gonna give you a minute to get used to the game.
Yeah,
that we selected for you today.
This is a little strange, but I'm enjoying it so far.
What led you to become a professional musician?
Okay, that's a long story, and God bless me, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm staring at this naked guy in a pot. I got into it because it was kind of the only thing I was good at. I wouldn't. It's not that I don't think I'm good, but there we go, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. No.
Do you want to take a respite and answer the question before you move forward? No, you want to keep going? Okay.
I want to keep going. Not easy.
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, Sexy Hiking.
Sexy hiking.
So you've worked on composing game scores and even have made some of your own Skyrim mods. Talk to me a little bit about your experience with the gaming community in general.
When you talk about like indie sorts of games, no. Hang on. Oh, he's stuck on the ledge. No. Okay. Cool. There. Oh no. I was blessed to find a really fun team with which to work, and so we actually, for the game jam that happened, the global game jam, we have started working on a game where the concept is basically to take this ant and you have to slide down a tree. That's
So you design these games.
I don't really design them. I just do the music and some of the sound effects for them. It usually starts with some stupid idea that one of us has, and saying, what would be a funny way to do, whatever our task for this game, whatever it is. I hate you all. In my case, with the team lead, his name's Aaron, and we go, no, too. We'll sit there and say, okay, cool. What do we kind of like vaguely think this world or this thing could sound like, right? And that's pretty typical for you to, as a composer or a sound designer, to get some form of kind of creative brief.
Yeah.
And usually what I'll do after that is I'll say, cool, was your original idea, and this is how I'm gonna kind of like incorporate that into what I think is better. So in the case of the game jams, though, they will give you they'll give you some what are they called? They're called the diversifiers, right?
Okay.
And so that can change how you approach either the actual game design or some other aspect of like sound design. So for this particular game jam, one of the diversifiers was to do all of the music and sound effects on a kazoo.
Interesting.
Yes. And so okay.
Ooh, progress.
Oh, you got past the roof.
He got past the roof.
Okay, come on.
Yes.
Oh, no.
No amount of forward progress.
Nothing like a perfectly timed
There is constant
one-liner.
But so I thought, cool, let's do a kazoo. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, God, what am I supposed to write for a kazoo about, like, or with a kazoo for this game? And my wife was actually the one that had this idea. And she goes, "Come on, Nick, it's a game about ants." Ba-da, 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 ba-da.
2 hours later.
And then Aaron eventually says,
That's
"Hey,
awesome.
add file things." I'm like, okay. It's kind of absurd how easy this actually was as a mashup, because they fit together in like the same key, like they fit into each other's holes in all the right places.
Yeah, actually, same thing with.
Oh, he just has a lot. That's a big frustration. A real pain.
Here we are, my mortal enemy, this tree branch, this freaking roof.
How do you balance your life as a professional musician, as well as your gaming life and as a composer and a consumer? Those two sides of you.
That's hard. I'm fortunate that there's no game up. How am I supposed to be? I'm the music director at church, which is great because it means I get to kind of stay on top of a lot of my skills. And then between that and like other just kind of freelance gigs, you're able to make a pretty good schedule for yourself. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to actually consume games as much as I would like to. I'm finally playing The Last of Us. I'm like, 10 years too late on that. There's that whole TV show that everyone's talking about. My other kind of thing is like, I just enjoy spending a lot of time with my wife. Like, we enjoy playing video games. So that's actually how one of the ways that we got really interested in each other, because we actually would play escape rooms a lot.
Oh, tell me a little bit more about that, about you and your wife sort of bonding with video games.
We love any clever two-player game. I do mean it has to be clever. And so for me, that involved a lot of puzzle games. And so my wife said, "Have you ever played Portal?" And I said, "I've played the first one, but I've never played the second one." And she said, "Okay, that's what we're doing this weekend." And it was awesome. I try to be a good sport about anything that I play, because I think that if you don't have good sportsmanship about whatever it is you want to do, then you probably shouldn't do it.
Everybody who plays League of Legends.
I wasn't going to say it.
Not adding anybody.
2 of us do in this room.
Well, and so what's funny about that is Ian has tried to get me to play League now for years.
Ooh.
Oh, speaking of.
Sponsor us. Sponsor us.
Please.
No! Feeling like Icarus. I got so high, I got too close to the sun, and then I fell far too many feet, only to have to do it all again. You picked this terrible, terrible experience. Even though I love puzzle games, I'm really not good at them. No!
It's okay. I've saved your progress.
Oh, shut up!
So, Nick, do you think symphonies would be able to draw audiences from video game sources as well? For example, the John Williams.
The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before.
It depends on the symphony. And this is where it gets a little funky. So I was lucky enough to actually work there for about 8 months last year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I was their interim, like one of their interim personnel people, like just helping manage the orchestra. It was wonderful. I got to meet a lot of really cool people, which was honestly kind of one of the coolest parts, was because like getting to hang out with with Ben Folds and Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah.
And all of those sorts of people backstage is just a really wonderful opportunity for anyone. It actually got me access to to music and concerts I wouldn't be able to go to normally. And what I didn't know about the Nashville Symphony, and this is actually really cool, is that they have they're one of like 2 orchestras in the entire country that predominantly functions on ticket sales rather than on endowments. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's awesome, right? And so when COVID was happening, that meant they were being hit really hard, right? Because no one can come. They had to do a lot of outside the box sort of thinking. And what's a challenge with that is that you can't You
In me, a piece above all
you have to kind of begin thinking, okay, well, what can we do in terms of community engagement and different styles of music that will draw in people. And they've always had a very active pop series. So when you go and you hear a show with the Nashville Symphony, like playing along with Ben Folds, a lot of these people are also doing sessions with rock artists and pop artists, and so it doesn't feel as kind of square. If you ever go to one of their pop concerts, it's almost always sold out. Almost all of them are, and their classical shows don't have quite the same amount of draw. I think partially just because there's a lack of understanding about classical music in general, also kind of a public willingness to try something they don't know. They went and they did a search of all of the composers that are typically played at over the course of a season at an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you had some Bach, a lot of Beethoven, a lot of Brahms, Mozart, and Tchaikovsky.
Interesting.
Were like the big five that were like on almost every single program. One of those was always on it.
So you think music is a little, or at least classical music is a little over canonized?
Yes, that's a very good way to say it. When you look at even just those 6 composers, it's always one of like the same 5 pieces that they do, right? And like, here's the thing: I will headbang to Tchaik 4 all day. And so you have all these pieces that are like these big, huge hitters, and like kind of because of a lack of music education in our country, this appreciation for all this stuff is kind of dying.
Yeah.
And so all the orchestras around the country are kind of circling their wagons around what they know will bring people in. And while that's great and awesome, it prevents us from getting to some of the more modern composers. But then you'll have kind of the opposite problem. You'll have like concerts that are like all new music. They'll do like John Adams, and they'll do all these new instrumental concertos and whatever else, and that's fine. But that's also not going to bring a lot of people in because they don't know anything. So you have this either we've heard this already. You did like literally 2 seasons ago. I don't want to go again, or I have no idea what any of this music is. I don't want to go see that because it might not be good.
Why is it playing country music?
I'm grooving it, man.
This is in game.
This is in game, yes.
This is in game.
It's because I'm taking that long on this part. This is amazing.
The country music.
I need to get a clip of Ian just. No. Go back to that. Go back to that. Go back to that.
Beautiful.
Isn't this game a great metaphor for music, right?
It actually really is, because you can climb up however many mountains you want and you can still fall.
Exactly.
Like that's it. No! Nope. No!
Whoa!
I want that coffee!
hiking. You're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire reservoir.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. I gotta get up here. I gotta know, man. I've been trying this for too long now. Oh no.
Exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment, or just by spending
This is
time.
actually a
That's
very...
every pixelated obstacle in sexy hiking.
I know what I want to do.
Sexy hiking are unyielding.
Oh, come
That
on.
makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the process of building a game about it.
Much as I hate a lot about this, I do think this is actually a very well-designed game, and that it's designed to make me frustrated, and it does an excellent job of that. As someone who kind of deals with a lot of the problems of...
The problems of what, Nick?
The pain I feel now is the happiness the happiness I felt is the pain I have now. I'm very passionate about new music in general. And so for my church choir, at least 40% of our literature that we do has been written since like the 1990s.
Wow.
And I
That's
do,
awesome.
and I do that because you can't hope to get new music in any genre, whether that's music for the church, for the concert hall, or even for the oh, come on, you son of a brick. You son of a brick. Okay, cool.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. No! I hate my life. Okay, anyway, you can't hope to ever get new music or people interested in joining your choir or coming to your concert hall or whatever if you're not doing music that reflects the times in which you find yourself. And not just from orchestras, but you see that with academia, you see it with classical musicians toward pop musicians and pop musicians toward classical musicians too. And I've been on both sides of that. We're kind of finally getting to this point now where you'll also see, kind of in addition to John Adams, like I talked about earlier, you'll also occasionally see as a closer, just Star Wars, like the main theme of Star Wars, like especially people do it around like 4th of July and stuff like that, right? Because that kind of fits in the summer pops feel and whatever. But they'll also, like, if they have a good violinist, they might pull something, like for red violin.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, my brain was like, what is that?
Red violin's very popular.
Yeah. And so they'll pull stuff from like that. And now, granted, that's John Williams. He's kind of a master, right? And I think it'll be a little while before we get Hans Zimmer, in Interstellar being the next kind of thing that's being done at the Skirmerhorn. Although Skirmerhorn, anytime you want to get on that, please let me know, because I'll buy like every ticket. Once we kind of get to that point where you have a program that has Tchaikovsky, you do some John Adams, then like, cool, great, let's do Hans Zimmer. Everyone's gonna come for Hans Zimmer for Interstellar, for Dark Knight, or whatever. Awesome, you have a great program right there. People will buy it. Pour Me Blues by Edna Hicks.
This may be a good sign that we should move on.
So what's your impression of the game after playing it for about, a couple hours?
That was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And I hated it.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of our time today. Thank you, Nick, for coming on the show and suffering for us. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay in the fill. Let us know in the comments below what the best game to ruin a completely good interview are. See you guys in the next video.
Did you just make a ding in the...
So explain trumpeting to us.
Well, you see, it's when you wield a biblical weapon of mass destruction to tear down a city.
See? It helps to be an apocalyptic thinker.
What do you say to the rumors and allegations that every year you paint your beard white and dress up as Saint Nick? He's a runner. We got a runner.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Ding! I wish I had my tuning fork. When does it end? When does it end?